Hello everybody. I had to move up this live to 12 o'clock. It was going to be at 1 o'clock, so I absolutely apologize for that. The reason being is my partner, my beautiful partner Matt, is working from home at the moment and he has some meetings scheduled a bit later, so I didn't want to interrupt him. So I thought, well, I'm sure that you guys won't mind too much if we bring up this live stream to a little bit earlier in the day, so 12 o'clock Queensland time. Sorry, I'm just getting all my stuff together. So how is everybody enjoying their week? I thought I'd open it up just a little bit earlier so that we've got some time to chat. How's everybody going for their week? I can't believe that it is day 5. Day 5! We made it. We did it. 5 days of live streaming. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. This is the first time I've ever tried to pull something this big off on social media. Usually it's just doing stories and short stories and lives and things like that that are very short and to the point. So this has been quite a feat. I have delivered a lot of information that I would normally charge quite a bit of money to give to my one-to-one coaching clients. I've taken little modules out of different courses that people normally do with me, either one-to-one or signing up for the monthly membership. So I hope you're enjoying the content that you have received and you're putting it to good use. It has been an amazing week. It is an amazing day. And to top it off, it's starting to rain. I love a rainy Friday. It's casual Friday and it's starting to rain. So can't beat that. So on today's live, in case you were wondering what we're going to do today, like we've covered so much already, but what are we going to do today? Well, to tie it all together, I want to show you how to put it all together in a plan that allows you to then free up a lot of time during the week. So we're actually going to sit down together today and take 30 minutes to put it all together and make a plan. And in your toolkit today, you will receive a calendar, a content calendar that you can use to plan out your entire month of content. So not only am I going to show you how to plan it, I'm going to talk to you and show you how long you should spend on actually creating your content, as well as how to plan different days to do that, and also show you a strategy that I use to spend just 45 minutes maximum a day on any type of social media to connect and engage with my audience. So it's kind of exciting. I'm not going to take up too much of your time today. So I think that because I'm incredibly dedicated to your success, so I really want to do this live in the shortest amount of time so that you can just get started and kick it off and follow along for the next month and really have some success on social media and bringing people to your business, either through your website or bricks and mortar business, or your landing pages and things like that. So we'll just wait a few more minutes because normally we would start at 12 o'clock. So we will just wait a few more minutes for people to join in. And please remember, if you need to, rewatch this later, that's totally fine. I don't mind if, nobody watches this immediately as a live. It's always awesome to have people join in and do this along with me and make comments and ask questions. But if you are really tied up for time, it's totally fine to jump off and do what you need to do and come back and watch this later at your leisure, because they will be up on my Facebook page in the videos section indefinitely. So a lot of the time it's hard to think. I know it's really hard for a lot of people to think of content that they want to put on their social media. So what I've decided to do, for, that's my heart and soul, is photography and creating content, creating images. I love shooting weddings and portraits and things like that. So it's with this ridiculous year that we've been having with COVID and businesses. Hi Amber, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, so with this ridiculous year that we've had with COVID, a lot of photography businesses have gone kind of under, or have had to stop doing what they do because we can't go to weddings, and the social distancing and things like that. So I decided that I would wind down those businesses, and I would then just create content with so that I'm still getting that creative outlet with my photography and creating images. And so what I thought I would do is make a membership site called 24 Social Narrative, which is basically lifestyle images and captions that you guys can use copyright free. And you can sign up to it as a monthly membership or a 3-monthly membership, or even, if you want to go a whole year, you can do the whole year as well. So that will be released on the 30th of November. And when you sign up, you'll get immediately in your inbox, you'll get access to the first. If you sign up for a month, it'll be a month's worth of content. If you sign up for 3 months, you'll get 3 months worth of content. So initially, if you sign up for the year, I will be releasing content monthly and quarterly. So if you sign up for the year, it just means that you're getting ahead, and you're getting a bit more of a discount on your membership fee, and you'll have your content released to you each quarter. So I think that way it might just help a lot of businesses and business people that don't have the skills to take photos, or they don't have the time to take photos, and they're finding it difficult to write copy. So you're able to just, grab those photos and use them however you want. You can, crop them, you can add text to them. There'll be quotes as well, and you can add your logo on them. You can do whatever you want with them. They're totally copyright free. They're just completely content lifestyle narrated images to tell a story, so that you can use them against captions that we provide, or captions that you want to use for yourself as well, that you think of yourself. So Amber, how are you? Thank you so much for joining in the live and saying hi. Have you been following along this week and posting? Has anyone seen any, results from posting regularly this week? If you've been posting this week, have you been receiving your toolkits as well? Okay, let me know. The feedback is really invaluable to me as well, so I really enjoy getting feedback from you guys. I'm just watching the comments patiently. But that's okay. If you don't want to write anything just yet, that's totally fine. We can move on. It might be a bit delayed. And it's 12:02, so let's get into it. And I will answer. We'll have a little bit of a Q&A during the session as well. So if you want to ask a question, I might stop during as well, and also questions at the end, so that we can get through this as quickly as possible. So as I said, Amber has been doing her best and she's listening. Awesome. Thank you, Amber. I really appreciate you being here. All right. So in this live stream, we're going to be talking, as I said, about putting it all together, planning a whole month of your whole month of content in a very short period of time, like 45 minutes, and being able to schedule it and all of that stuff. So we're going to talk about that, so you can get some social media engagement, get some time back in your business, get some time back in your life, so you don't feel like you're spending your whole life trying to pump up your social media. Because at the end of the day, that is a task that it's an awesome task in your business, but it's not something that you should be spending all of your time on, because your time is more valuable and can be spent you know, creating new products and services and really serving your clients, you know, better. So social media should only be a form of marketing and advertising so that you can get people into the business and you can create an income. So we don't want to spend hours and hours and hours on it, and I think that we can just, if we can find a clear path and strategy, we can really move mountains when it comes to getting things done. So I'm going to show you my strategy. I'm going to show you my strategy on how to plan. I'm going to show you how to create content in a short period of time, and it's going to be awesome fun. Okay, so most of you that are listening have been watching my lives this week or have jumped in and asked questions and things like that, and I really appreciated that. So please do that again in this live. And remember, if you stay to the end, you're always going to receive a really cool extra freebie from me. And today it will be a content calendar, and it will be also some more images from my vault, and it will also be some quotes and captions as well. So stay to the end and ask questions, get involved. As you know, my name is Amy Lee Farr, and as I explained, I am a marketer and photographer and podcaster. If you'd like to join in my group, on my Facebook private group that we have, I'll talk about that at the end. And if you want to follow me on social media, it's 24 Social. So at 24 Social, and that is on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and YouTube. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time. You guys know who I am. And if you don't, please go back to the first video where I explain all about me, and you know, we don't really need to go over that again today. So here we go. First things first, what we'll cover, as I said, tips on planning your month ahead of time, how to use the content calendar, and how to keep accountable. By planning ahead, you're going to save heaps of time during the week, and that means obviously you can work on other projects, as we said just before. And it also helps to know that you don't have any pressure to meet deadlines. Knowing when something is going to launch will make it a lot easier for you to plan ahead. So brainstorm content related to those deadlines, and then you can batch days to accomplish those relevant tasks. Sorry, a bit tongue-tied. Hi Alyssa, thank you so much for joining. That's awesome. Good to see you again. And it also gives you ease of mind that when you have something to share, that you know that you've got a plan and it works well for you on social media. So each week you can batch days to create content and use that on your content calendar as well, and then schedule it to go out. So let's go over my 5 very easy top tips to planning ahead. I'm sorry if you hear any noise in the background. Someone has just decided to start, I think, chopping down a tree outside. Can anyone hear that? Is that really annoying? It's pretty loud for me, and I've got all my windows shut. Ah, awesome. That's excellent. So yeah, it is validating. That's awesome, Amber. Okay, so step 1, start with what you know. Okay, so get your pens and paper out if you haven't already, and write these down. I will have these steps in your toolkit as well, but I always find that when I write, I'm a visual learner, but I'm also a learner that I learn as I do it. So if I'm writing it down, it kind of sinks in more. So if you're that kind of learner as well, please get out a notepad. Awesome, thank you. Please get out a notepad and write these down as we go, so that it can sink into your brain a bit easier. I know that really is a good tip for me when I'm learning something. So, okay, step 1, start with what you know. And what I mean by that is start with what your goals are. And we talked about that earlier in the week, what your goals are for your social media, what your goals are for the month. Are there any events coming up? Is there any product launches that you need to factor in? And write those on your calendar first. So are your goals to send out emails, and when they're going to be sent out? Is there a goal for you to be consistent every day? Is there any events coming up, such as events going live? blog posts, those sorts of things, and put them on your calendar first, okay? And then you've got a bit of a baseline of what days you're going to have those things coming up, and we can plan around those. The second thing that you want to do is step 2 is add any blog posts, lives, and videos that align with those goals, those events, or those launches. Okay, so if you run into a snag, you can look at what's trending in your niche, or look at what's trending through your analytics. If you know much about your analytics, which could be on your Facebook, on your Google Analytics, or your Instagram Analytics, or wherever you draw from with analytics, have a look at those, see what posts have been trending that you've been doing, maybe expand on that. Have you created any polls or surveys lately that you could expand on? Look at Pinterest. I did give you some links yesterday regarding how to look up Google Trends as well. I also like to use BuzzSumo. BuzzSumo is a really great platform, and at the moment they're giving you a 30-day free trial. I don't have an affiliate program with them. I don't have any discounted links, but I do love to use them. They are a paid service after that, but you can use them for 30 days and see if you feel it's worth it, and you can actually look up what's trending in your niche based on questions that are being asked on the internet, things like that. It's an amazing resource to get ideas from in your niche if you're stuck for ideas, and especially if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of questions that people are asking you as well. So if you're sort of just starting out and you don't know where to start with answering questions, that's a really great platform. Another thing to do is look at people in your niche and find out what people are asking them, and maybe you've got a different spin on the answer and you can answer it in a better way. So look at those things, and you could write blog posts around those launches and those events and those goals. You could do lives around those things. You could do videos. So put them on your calendar next. And step 3 is think about the content that you can repurpose. So maybe you've done a blog, maybe you've done a live, maybe you've done a podcast, a video, or something, a story, and maybe you could take some snippets from those and create some social media posts around that, and then link it back to the content that you've originally taken that snippet from. And that works really well with Pinterest as well. So you could repurpose content from your blog through to Pinterest to make some new images, that you could make some images and templates, or you could use the templates that I will be releasing in 24 Social Narrative, and use those and repin those, and the same can work with stories, doing lives, things like that. Now step 4 is to figure out your content buckets. As we discussed in yesterday's live, I gave you 12 categories or buckets that you can theme your posts to. You can simplify that down to 5 to 7 categories if you want to. You don't actually have to use the whole 12. I like to use the whole 12 because it then gives me a lot of content, a lot of buckets that I can use during the month, and then repurpose that the following month. And then you can just discuss those on rotation. So the categories remain the same, but then the topics in those categories, or the niches within those categories, rotate and change. For example, you could do about me, you could do benefits of your product, you could do inspirational quotes, behind the scenes, tutorials, and those would be your buckets, and then you would just change what you're actually posting about within those topics, those categories I should say, those buckets. Then just use this content to fill the rest of your calendar, okay? And by this stage you should have a pretty full calendar. And step 5 of this is setting up batching days. Now this is the key to social media planning success. It is batching days. A lot of people think that they need to show up every day by being on social media every day physically, but the secret sauce is find days in the month that you can spend batching content. So I wouldn't advise doing all of your content creation in the one day, because that can kind of be a bit draining, especially if you're not in a creative industry, you're not, that's not your jam. If creation is something that you struggle with, I wouldn't advise doing that in one day. But try and find 45-minute blocks once a week that you can then do a batch of content creation. So if you're doing a lot of live, if you're in videos all the time, maybe doing, back-to-back videos, 3 to 5 videos in one sitting. So if your videos are 5 minutes long, now you don't have to edit those videos. All you want to do is create the content. So if you're doing podcasting, trying to use one day to batch those podcasts, you might record a 30-minute podcast or a 15-minute podcast, and all you want to do, instead of editing those into a perfect format, wait till the end, create 5 to 10 podcasts, and then on another day you could spend an hour editing them and getting them ready to actually post. But getting the content created is the most important thing. So don't try and do that all in one day. Break it up into days of the month that you can actually focus on those. And that's why creating a social media plan is so important, so that you can actually do all these things that are going to create an income for you and help other people. So if you can figure out what can be done together on those days, then you can also do that as well. Because, obviously, if you can combine something one thing doesn't take too long and the other thing doesn't take too long, and you've got it down to a sort of a fine art, you can combine those things and try and squeeze in 2 things in the one day. And especially if you're not going to be using stock images such as the ones that I can provide for you in my membership, then you're going to need to set aside at least maybe 45 minutes to an hour a week to get photos together. So either taking photos, setting up little flat lays, things like that to create your content, or jumping into maybe Canva or PicMonkey, I think it is, PicMonkey, or things like that, and grabbing stock photos and using and sitting there and doing some graphic stuff with those programs. So there's a little bit of content creation that you need to do before we do the planning, but getting that batching into days during the week or a couple of days a month is going to really get you ahead of the game. Each week I like to set aside 45 minutes to plan my social media posts, so to plan that calendar. And this doesn't mean that all the photos have to be captured. I just know what I want, what I'll be posting each day of the week. And this usually happens on a Friday for me. I like to start on a Friday at around, 3 in the afternoon. And then I kind of work until, 3:45, 4 o'clock. When my nose gets a little bit itchy. I always get these weird things when I'm doing lives. I've noticed this week I get a little bit of a frog in my throat and my nose gets itchy. Is it one of those mental things, do you think? I think it might be. And I like to post 6 days a week on social media, and I rotate that between taking Saturday off or Sunday off, and posting once a day on Instagram, twice a day on Facebook, and I do also post on Twitter and YouTube as well, but that's a separate social flow. For now, I just want to talk about Facebook and Instagram. So think about, as we said during the week back in the other lives, think about how many times a week you're going to post on what platforms. Now, looking at the full week ahead, I start planning the content, and I won't be providing a daily social media to-do list. That will be provided in my first action plan that I send out with your photos in the membership. And you can actually then download that as well. But I will be providing you with a content calendar. Okay, so I do all of this in 5 steps, and it totals about 45 minutes of a planning session. If you'd like to plan and schedule your posts, I suggest scheduling them directly either on Facebook or using Planoly, or using Buffer, or using one of the tools that are really, really easy to use, like Tailwind, Buffer. Facebook Business Suite has it's really completely changed the game, actually. It's a free service on Facebook Business Suite, and you can change the format of how you see your images for Instagram on Facebook Business Suite. So you can have it in a grid view as you would see it on Instagram, or you can have it in a list view as you would see it when you're planning it, say on Buffer or something like that. And for me, that's really important because I like to see what it's going to look like once all of the images have been posted. So all the videos have been posted for my own aesthetics, and that's just because I feel like that having a theme is really important and sets you apart from other people, and that's one of the value propositions, as being unique. So once you when I get the calendars out to you in your toolkit, you'll be able to see that that there'll be some prompts that you can try out as well. So I'll have some prompts on those calendars for you, so you can use that and as you've signed up for my toolkit, each month I will be sending out a content calendar with prompts on it. So there's one for November that's been done, and then when we get closer to December, I'll send one out to you from there as well. And they'll just have prompts on what you can share, national holidays, things to celebrate, but you don't have to post everything that's on my content calendar. They're just prompts to help you get through, and if you run out of ideas or don't know what to post, okay? So don't feel like you have to use all of them. So some simple hacks for repurposing content is obviously mix up your content ideas each month. Cater these prompts that I give you prompts to use in your business. You can recycle a post over and over again, and you can use different pictures or graphics. So your content copy can be similar, and you can just repurpose that content that you've written about and just use different pictures. That's a bit of a hack, especially with Pinterest. You can mix up your content from videos and graphics as well, and also share the content on different platforms. That's a good way to mix it up as well and repurpose the content, because chances are, as I said yesterday, 70% of your newsfeed isn't going to be seen by your audience. So obviously wherever you're posting, it's good to show up at least once a day on their newsfeed. So you could probably repurpose that content on Facebook that you used on Instagram or Pinterest, and vice versa, and whatever. So you can just kind of mix it all up. And also use Insta stories as well. That's really, as we've talked about during the week, video is king. People love moving pictures. Even if it's an image on a story, it's still, it's still like automatically flicking through as they're watching stories in general. So always jump on your stories, even if you don't want to get on the actual camera and talk to people. IG Reels is a really great way to sort of start off getting on camera, because you don't necessarily have to speak. You can just put some music to what you're doing and put captions up instead. And I will be doing a blog post very soon about how to use Reels and how easy it is. It's basically, I could teach you how to use it in 3 minutes. And if you're using TikTok, it's exactly the same. It's Instagram's answer to TikTok, just like Stories was Instagram's answer to Snapchat. So so basically get on there as much as you can and just do what you can do. And Planoly does actually post to Stories automatically, as well as posting to Instagram automatically and Pinterest automatically. So you can set and forget pretty much. You can do all of your planning that we've talked about. You can jump on there and plan it all out, schedule it all up, and just set and forget, and go back to your business doing what you want to do, and do some content batching days. Always remember to do content batching days, because it can be very easy, and I have found myself in this trap before, to forget that because I'm not showing up on social media physically every single day to post, it's easy to forget that the month is running out and you need to get some content created. Okay, so try and really schedule in I like to use Google Calendar to schedule my days. I'm a bit of an organization freak. I like to have a plan. I really like to have lists, and I really like to have calendars set up. So in my calendar, and I teach this in one of my modules, I actually have time management um, module. And in my part of that is having my calendar in my Google Calendar. I have all of the hours set out to what I'm going to do. So from taking the kids to school or picking them up, from having my breakfast to taking the dogs for a walk, everything is slotted in there with either as a task to do or a meeting blocked out, or, you know, obviously, you know, batching days and when I'm going to do my recording and all that sort of stuff. So it's very, I think it's a really good habit to get into, and especially if you've got a calendar that can send you reminders, which is why I like to use Google Calendars. Not only is it free, but it also sends me reminders as to what's coming up for me next. So I can, if I get swallowed up in something that I'm doing and I completely forget that I've booked in something else that I need to start at, say, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it'll send me a reminder saying, hey, stop doing what you're doing, now you're doing this. And it keeps me accountable. So that's a bit of a bonus tip for you with time management. Really set out your day, book time for yourself, book time for your partner, book time for your children, book time for your animals, book time for your business, and put it all in your calendar. I know that sounds a little bit weird maybe, but it actually works. I have even family time booked in every single night. Between 5:30 and 7:30 is family time, and I don't do any work, and that's it. Because otherwise I could do work all day and keep going till midnight, and I don't know if you're the same, but when you have a business and you're inspired by it, it tends to really take over everything if you're not careful. So if you really want to maximize your time, and you want to maximize what you're doing in your social media and your business, it's a really good idea to have this content calendar laid out, and then you could transfer that into your Google Calendar so that you know what's coming up and that this batching day is happening, and no matter what, you're going to sit down for 45 minutes and do that batching. So that's all part of being successful with your online business. It's without having a plan, you plan to fail. And I know that's a cheesy line, but it's true. Okay, so bonus tip. Now that you have a plan in place, your daily flow will be exactly that. It will be a flow. So you know precisely how you'll show up on social media, and you'll know how others are going to see you, and they will know what to expect from you. And now you can really just focus on engagement and driving conversations. So each day, it would be a really good idea to spend between 20 to 40 minutes driving conversations and engagement on social media, and talking to people and getting to know them and getting them to talk back to you. And so that means, once you've got a post on Instagram, you might spend a minute or 2 minutes looking at other people's feeds that have commented on your post. Say if you've got 2 or 3 comments on your post, reply back to those comments, and then go to their feed and have a look at what's on their account, and spend a few seconds saying hello on different images that they have. It really will boost their self-esteem on social media. It will give you engagement with them, and you start to develop what we call super fans, people that are really evangelistic about you and will share your content and you're sharing theirs. It's all about helping each other. So why not, don't be afraid of helping somebody else with their visibility, because at the end of the day, it's not only going to help them, it's going to come back to you. It's going to help you. Okay, so spend a couple of minutes on a couple of posts on your page, re-engaging with those people. And then the same on Facebook, and then the same with direct messages, spending maybe 10 minutes on Instagram, sending out DMs to people, reaching out, saying, hi, I love your feed, just wanted to connect with you and say hello. You're not trying to sell them anything, you're just connecting. And the same with Facebook, and especially if you're trying to get in front of other people's audiences, you really want to build friendships with other business people in your industry, and also people that have the people that you want to get in front of. It might not be in your industry. It might be, you know, if you're a physical fitness person, it could be you want to talk to someone who does, you know, keto diets and stuff like that, or whatever. So it can be in your industry, but not necessarily in your niche, or it could be related to your business that could help your business. And so you really want to build friendships with other business people like that. So just spending 10 minutes on Facebook and Instagram, maybe 5 to 10 minutes responding to comments, as I said, on those platforms or any other platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, things like that. And then, as I said, leaving comments on other people's posts. So that should only take you 20 to 40 minutes, and really try not to get distracted by other people's things like stories. And I know that's really hard. So set a timer. I like to set a timer on my phone, and if I go past that 40 minutes and I haven't accomplished that short list of things to do, I know that I've just completely blown out my time and my day, and I have to kind of start again or make another time to do it later on. So it's a good way, if I've got a timer set, that I know I'm not going to get distracted. Everything else is put to the side, and I'm just focusing on engaging with the people that I want to engage with on my platforms. So there's a few things to take into consideration. As I said, try not to get distracted by cat videos and fluffy puppies. I know I kind of, that happens to me sometimes. You have to, my business engagement has to be super disciplined. I have to stick to that daily timeline, because I know if I get distracted, I'm wasting valuable time. And if you think about when you have a job, or if you were to charge out your time to someone, what is that time worth? Are you charging $85 an hour? Are you charging $35 an hour? Are you charging $25 an hour? Think about what your time is worth, and are you getting the return on investment for what time you're spending on the things that you're doing? Is it giving you a good return? And if the answer is no, then you need to sort of try and figure out how to slim that down and scale that back. So don't get distracted, because you are valuable. Your time is extremely valuable, especially as a business owner. You're the person that is creating the services, the products, the things that people want from you. And at the end of the day, you are going to be able to expand when you scale your business, and you'll be able to get an assistant in to do your social media for you, so that you are more valuable in other places in your business, doing other things. So think about it like that. If you were going to pay someone else to do it for you, and you're doing it and it's costing you way too much, because your time, you would pay yourself a lot more to do these jobs than someone else, then really get disciplined about your time, like super, super disciplined about your time. And remember, not every day is going to look the same. Some days I might only get a couple of comments on Facebook, or I might get one comment or a like, so I'm not going to have to spend as much time doing that. And other days there might be heaps, there might be hundreds of comments to go through. So it's about figuring out what are the best comments to comment back on, and what you're going to say and things like that, and just have a few different things that you would normally say back to people, but try not to sound too generic. So you might spend a little bit more time on some days other than others, as long as it's disciplined time that you're spending, not getting distracted, but actually spending that time connecting with someone. And I mean, if you are really connecting with somebody, it's worth that time, isn't it? Because that person is going to connect with you on another level. They're going to share your content. You're going to share their content. They're going to see more value in your stuff. You're going to see value in their stuff. And it could eventually return, a really good profit for you, and you're helping other people. Okay, so the next thing to consider would be, if you're not getting a lot of direct messages or a lot of comments, well, that just means that there's more time for you to start engaging. So instead of thinking, oh, well, I'm off the hook, I don't need to do anything, maybe instead think about, oh, this is an opportunity for me to engage with other people and actually initiate a conversation. You can also go through hashtags, some of the hashtags that you're using, and see who else is using those hashtags, especially if it's a hashtag that you've created, and see if there's other people using your hashtag, and then you can comment on those photos and leave comments on those photos in those feeds. And then you can go through and like a lot of photos as well. That's important. Liking and engaging, because it's all about engagement now more than it is about followers and likes. So engagement is a key factor to a good social media account, okay? And it works. Believe me, this works, okay? You could start a conversation by the way that you might start in real life. So maybe say a compliment to someone or mention something that you have in common. It doesn't need to be salesy and it doesn't need to be too pushy. It just needs to be a conversation like you would with anybody, all right? So if you're interested in discovering how to find out what the right hashtags are to use on Instagram and Facebook pages and groups, then be sure to check out my blog post that I've posted about 4 easy ways to create hashtags for Instagram success. Okay, it's on my blog 20-4-4-4. Okay, so you probably didn't think that I explained my social media flow without providing you with a resource, did you? Because I need to show you I'm actually really committed to your success. So I'm really committed to your success, and I'm going to send you all of these guides and everything that we've discussed today in your toolkit. I'm going to send you the plan, the content, calendar. I'm going to send you captions to use and some images to use to get you started, because I really want you to use these guides to ensure that you have a plan for success and a plan and a strategy. And I want to just mention one quick thing. Engage whenever you can. The timing of your engagement matters a lot. And it's really the best engagement is within the first 20 to 30 minutes of when you're posting. So if you know when your posts are going up, it's a good idea to maybe use that, extra 10 minutes in your day. Just plan in your calendar. My posts are going up at 7 a.m. So I'm going to, at say 10 past 7, I'm going to, use 10 minutes of my day, and I'm going to go through the comments and see who's responded and start engaging, and use maybe 10 to 20 minutes then for your social media engagement. And it can be as simple as that, as long as you stay disciplined and you don't get distracted. And remember, you're playing the long game here. You're teaching people how to engage with your account, okay? So there it is. Everything you need to know, really, how to get started with a strategy and making a plan. And I know there's a lot to unpack there, and you might feel a little overwhelmed, and I hope that you don't. I hope that you've come to a sort of a bit of enlightenment there about how to plan a good strategy for your social media. There are countless tools that you can use to generate more engagement, and obviously paid ads and Instagram ads and Facebook ads and things like that. But as I said, there are some good scheduling tools that you can use to set and almost forget. Planoly, Facebook Business Suite, Tailwind, Buffer, Plan That is another good one. Although I know Planoly is one of the only ones that has an agreement with Instagram that they will post automatically to Instagram and Pinterest. And I think Plan That now doesn't have that ability, but it does have the ability to post to LinkedIn and Facebook automatically by memory. Don't quote me on that, but I do know that they now planthat.com.au, I think it is, does have the ability to post to LinkedIn. So all of them have different abilities. Obviously, Buffer and Tailwind are the bigger players. They can actually post across almost every single platform automatically for you, except for personal accounts. I don't think they can do personal accounts. But if you go to my favorite tools page on my website, you'll see some of the favorite tools that I like to use. The disclaimer is that all those links, I have an affiliate with them, so I may, if you do click on those links, I may either get a discount or make an income from you clicking those links. So I just wanted to let you know that for transparency. But they are powerful tools. There's lots of powerful tools on there that you can use, and discounts that they will offer if you do, for you guys as well, if you want to use those. But just remember, guys, the most important thing is your value proposition and your brand. You need to be consistent, you as in showing up every day. You need to have high quality images in good light. Dark and shabby images don't do as well, so you need to have high quality images. And as I said, my iPhone now can take pretty much the same kind of image that I could have taken with my Canon, my actual pro photography camera for my photography. So you know, we have a lot of tools already, you know, at our disposal that we can use. You know, we can easily just use our phones these days to take high quality photos. Just make sure that if you're not going to use stock photos, that you're in good light, and make sure that everything is lit well but not in direct sunlight, open shade. So that's it pretty much. How does everybody feel about this lesson today and being the day 5? Have you got what you've needed from this, and are you going to walk away feeling like you've that you've got some good tools in your toolkit now, and you can make a strategy, you can go forward and surge ahead? How's everybody feeling? I'm just reading your comments, guys. Positive, excellent. Yes, definitely, Alyssa. It's important to make time for things outside of work, and put it on your calendar. It's really good time management skills to set aside. It might seem really pedantic, but even if you don't stick 100% to your calendar, it gives you a good reminder that, hey, it's time to stop. It's time to pay attention to other things in your life that are really important as well. Because you're not going to, you know, retire and go to your transition bed or your deathbed thinking, oh, I wish I worked more. It's always going to be about the people that you love, and your friends and your family and your animals, and doing more fun things. So make a lot more time for your families, and you know, for the things that are important outside of work, and put them on your calendar, so it gives you a good reminder that it's time to stop work now and change it up. Awesome. Thanks, Alyssa. Yeah, it is a lot of information, and that's why I'm going to send you everything we've talked about today. Is going to be step by step in your toolkit. Okay, so Alyssa was just saying that she feels good, but it's a lot of information, good information that she can use moving forward. It is a lot of information, but as I said, it's going to help you go forward, and I will lay it all out in a step-by-step action plan that you'll get today in your toolkit. And Amber has said, I know some things and enjoy the filling in of the gaps. Very useful. Yeah, awesome. I'm glad. That's good. So today's challenge, let's get into that. But first, is there any particular questions that you wanted to ask, that you're unsure of? Anything that didn't make sense, or you'd like to get some more clarity on it all? Or you guys feeling confident? And as I said, if you can't think of anything now, it's totally fine. You can always email me or send me a message on social media, or join the group as well. Be sure to join, go and like my Instagram and like the page on Facebook, so that we can connect there, and I can find your pages as well, and your Instagram accounts, or your LinkedIn, or any other social media that you're on. And if you'd like to join the private group that we have on Facebook, it's called 24 Social, the Power of Marketing Entrepreneurs Community, and that's easy to find through the Facebook page, or 24 Social page. Thank goodness, I should say, that chopping down whatever that person was doing outside has stopped and didn't go for too long. That was a little bit much. So apologies for that. Okay, Your challenge today, while I'm waiting for any more questions or comments, is I want you to go onto your social media page, whether it's Facebook or any other social media, and post an image or a video or do a story, but obviously as well as a story, post an image on your actual feed plus a caption with something about the benefits of your product or service or your business. So what are the benefits? It's different from selling. I don't want you to sell the product. I'm looking for the benefits of you, of your brand, your service or product, and what benefits your audience will get by working with you. You could maybe even throw in a testimonial from someone that has spoken highly of you or your brand or working with you. But yes, I want something about the benefits to do with your product or your service, and post that. And then on your Facebook page, I want you to go and change your Facebook banner. And this actually gives your followers a chance to see something new and fresh or seasonal. And you could even, instead of just being a picture, it could be something that you're offering. It could be a banner about whatever your latest offering is. And make sure, as I said before, in your profile pictures on Facebook and your banners on Facebook, make sure to put your URLs to your landing pages and sales pages or your latest offer in the caption, because everybody does click on your banners and your profile pictures to see them a little bit better, and they actually will see that URL and it will then lead them to a sales page or something. So it's a good way to get some more free marketing to your website. Okay, so in your toolkit I have included some examples that you can use as captions, and so that if you're stuck for something to write, as always, there will be some modifiable captions that you can just fill in the blanks and use my ideas, or use your own ideas and use it as a baseline. And also I will send you some new images that you can use as well if you get stuck for that. And your toolkit will be kind of beefy today, so expect that in your email inbox you'll have some links in there that you can just go and download them directly. Okay, and that, my friends, my incredible, wonderful people that have been following this all week, is it. We've done it. 5 days of social media secrets. And if you've been following along, if you've been following along with the challenges, you guys would have posted on social media, and especially Facebook, 10 times this week. So if you go ahead and haven't done that and you want to start doing it next week and follow along next week and do it again, you can actually replicate this every single week. I have created 5 different topics for you to go and post this week, and my challenge is for you to go and choose another 2 topics that you'll post over the weekend. I created this week of lives because I really wanted to empower business owners to have a plan and a strategy to show up every day on social media. And I'm going to obviously empower you further during our time together if you're signed up to the toolkit, and that means I will be sending you more marketing resources and business resources, and asking you to join in on challenges and do things to empower yourself so that you can show up more for your audience. Because I believe wholeheartedly that we were put here on this earth to have fun, and we've started our business to do great things, and all we need is just a clear way forward to show off our stuff and be social and engage with our audience. So if you follow the steps that I've laid out for you, it works. It will help you to show up consistently. It will help you to stay forefront of your audience's mind, and success will be yours. It's not always the most beautiful, lucky, or talented people that succeed. It's usually the ones that focus, show up, are consistent, and most of all, don't quit. So that's it, guys. If you want to connect with me in my free Facebook group, please do that, the Power of Marketing Entrepreneurs Group. You can get all of the information there for that on my Facebook page. go to my website 24social.com, 20-4-social.com, and you can read my blog posts. There's lots of free resources and blog posts on that, as well as listening to my podcast 24 Social with Amy Lee. I show up weekly on a Wednesday night at 7 p.m. You can send in questions and topics you'd like me to cover in my podcast as well. And now it's time to say goodbye for the week. And if you guys really enjoyed this week and you'd like me to show up more in lives, I don't know if I'll do a whole week of lives again for a little bit, but I'm thinking I'll definitely start doing at least maybe weekly or fortnightly, or every 2 weeks do a live video for 30 minutes or so. So as promised, I didn't want to take up too much of your time, and I think it's time to wrap up. So if there's nothing else that you guys would like to chat about, I want to thank you, Amber and Alyssa, for watching today, and anyone else that tunes in watching this and has followed along. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I totally appreciate you guys, and I'm so grateful that you've turned up and that you're watching this and learning from me. Oh, awesome. I will get better at them. I will hopefully stop saying and I'll be able to do a better job for you as I get better and better at doing them. So thank you guys so much. I really enjoyed this with you as well. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye.